Happy morning, students. Today we are going to see the power plant engineering. In this power plant engineering, we are going to discuss about what are the various methods of producing the electricity and what are the available resources of converting the available resource into an electrical energy. In the first unit of this power plant engineering subject, we will see what is the vapor power cycles. Vapor power cycle. The vapor power cycles are used to generate the steam. Then the steam is converted into a mechanical work. From the mechanical work, it will be converted into an electrical energy, right? So vapor power cycles and Rankine cycle and Rankine reheat cycle and Rankine regenerative cycle, and both combination of reheat and regeneration cycle, binary vapor cycle, steam generators, how the steam was generated, modern high pressure generators, accelerator, boiler feed pump, feed water heater, economizer, preheater and superheater. These are all things we are going to see in the first unit. In the first unit, before going for these power cycles, we want to know what are the energy sources available in our India. So that is what we call as energy scenario in India. If we are going for energy scenario in India, we are having more potential in coal. So that is used for the thermal power plants. Right. Apart from that, we are having hydro, we are having wind energy, we are having bio energy and geothermal energies. So other energies are available, but most of the energies what we are getting for India is all from the thermal power station. But we want to see this. What is the energy scenario in India? What is the current situation? Right. So this is the thing what we call as the context of energy. The economic growth of any country is measured based on its power sector, right? How much power they are producing, how much electricity they need, right? As necessitated to economic growth of electricity demand over the last 2 decades. A decade means 10 years. Last 20 years, it is grown up. So initially, when we are getting independence, our capacity was only 1360 megawatts. But in 1991, it was grown up to 65,000 megawatts. From 1360 megawatts to 65,000 megawatts. We are increased very high, faster rate, because India is a developing country. A lot of industries are grown up. So then this, it itself says around 69% of energy is getting from the electricity is getting from the thermal power plants. And remaining 31% is shared by hydro, nuclear, all the other power station. So if we are going for the coal reserve, so because the thermal power plants purely depend on the coal in India, almost all the thermal power stations comes under NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation. The NLC is Naval Lignite Corporation. NTPC is a separate statutory body. Under that control, there are around 46,000 megawatt capacity plant. Out of that, NTPC directly involved in 40,000 megawatts capacity, their installed capacity, their own control, and other subsidies. They are having the private sector, right? Or we call it as in public sectors. Those sectors will have 6,000 megawatts. This data was taken from NBE, National Energy Economic. So I am taking these things from that. So how much is India have? Coal. The India is having around 315 million tons of coals. 315 million tons of coal. So that's what this diagram is called. How much is the gold reservoir in India? So the proved is going to be in 45.40. Indicated is available, and inferred. How much it is inferred is 10.4%. So next is going to be coal, and another type of coal is going to be lignite. So how much is going to be India reserve for lignite? The lignite is 44.7. Assam and Tamil Nadu. Neyveli. So we are having 44.7 billion tons. This was a total estimate. Right? Which is predicted. This is inferred. This indicator will be a little bit differ. So out of that, 44.7 billion tons again 44.59 billion tons as of from 2017. The data is available up to 2017. After next 4 years they will release it. 2021. That data is not uploaded. Once we upload it, we will see what is the current status of lignites. The lignites also available surplus in India. So we are depending mostly on this thermal power station only, all electricity, 69% is depend on thermal power station. The next is we are going for petroleum. Some areas or some power plants we are using petroleum also. Reliance is using petroleum, the crude oil, for generating the power. They are using the raw material as an crude oil. So estimated reserve of crude oil in India as of 31. This data is taken from the latest book released by NBE. The capacity is going to be 604 million tons. 604 million ton. Compared to last year 2016, 1 year comparison, it will be 621. Actually 2016 it was higher, by 2017 it was little bit reduced. It will reduce because in the northern is right, western offshore area, right, where that crude oil extraction is reduced. But if you are coming for the other areas, Tamil Nadu and other areas, it has little bit increased. If you are going for a geographical distribution, how it was distributed, where the crude oil is available, indicated the maximum reservoir in the western offshore, right? So western offshore means near Bombay side we are having the offshores. That offshore area will have more. That's why the Reliance refineries are on the Bombay sides, Gujarat, Bombay, that side. And Assam side, Eastern Ghats side, that side we will have 28.48, right? And then if you are going for the eastern followed, the natural gas, we will have the natural gas amount. The natural gas eastern side will have more compared to the western. Even Tamil Nadu we have Narimanam area is there. There we are getting the natural gas. So they are contributing around 40% compared to the western shore. Western shore is half of it. This side is around 40, that side is only 23%. In most of the natural resources are available only in the eastern side. Western side will have the less amount because even that shore will have more rocky sides. This side only the sand beds are there. So offshore will have more. This eastern offshores will have more crude oils. Okay. So next we will go for the petroleum, where it was decreased compared to the last year. That's what I told you. It is 604 in 2017 estimate. By 2016 it is going to be 616 to 17 million tons. Right, previously during the same period the estimated crude oil on the Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Arunachal Pradesh, western offshore, Gujarat, Assam decreased. Those areas get decreased. Western side, Arunachal Pradesh side, right, even by 25%, 22, 12, 3.1, 0.5 in Assam, 0.5 in Assam. But our side, Tamil Nadu side, it is increased from 0.4 to 11.75. It is improved. In Tamil Nadu side, it is improved. Tamil Nadu, Andhra it is reduced. Assam also it was getting little bit reduced. But if we are coming for Tamil Nadu find some, even in Bhuvanagiri, here in the Kadalur district, we are having the reserve for the natural gas. Still they are not pumping. They identified more natural resources in Kaveri Delta area. So they are pumping only few volumes, metric tons, but still it is in the developing stage. Almost the entire area for the Kaveri belt, the Neyveli Lignite Corporation, Kaveri belt is going for natural gas. All these areas long back it will be a forest like this things when the Chola period and other periods. So now we are getting those natural resources. The estimated natural resources 2000 stood at 1281 billion cubic meter, because the natural gas is measured in terms of cubic meter. How much amount? Cubic meter, right? Against 1227. Previously, now it was 2017, 289. Previously it was 2227. 1289, 1227. It was increased compared to 2016. 2017 natural gas is increased reserve, but in case of petroleum crude oil it was little bit reduced in western side, but Tamil Nadu side it was increased. So we can see this one, how the crude oil is distributed all over the India. That western offshore will have maximum. Western offshore will have the maximum 40%, and Assam will have 20%. Eastern offshore is 7%, and Gujarat 20%, Rajasthan 4%, Tamil Nadu 1%. right? Andhra is also contributing 1%, and other states whole will contribute only 0.7. The major sources are in the Western Ghats, right? Gujarat, Assam, right? Eastern offshore area, not in particular state inside. On the offshore, we are having more crude oils, right? These other things are inside the land area. Tamil Nadu, we are having refineries, crude oil refineries. So, and then if you go for natural gas also, it is the same thing. In the offshore, we'll have more. Western and eastern offshore will have more, 39%, 23% respectively. And Assam will have 12%, Gujarat will have 5%, Rajasthan 3%, Tamil Nadu 3%, Tripura will have, Andhra Pradesh contributed more, Godavari area will have around 14%, right? Compared to Tripura, it's having more. Andhra also have, at the current state, Andhra is having around 14.5%. This graph I have taken for 2017, but the current statistics says Andhra is having 14.75% of natural gas, the overall India level when you are comparing, right? So we'll go for other things. So what do we call it as the renewable sources of energy. The renewable source of energy means we can recover it back, or it is everlasting process. There is high potential of generation of renewable energy from various sources. There are various sources of renewable energies: the wind energy, solar energy, biomass, small hydro, and cogeneration biogases. There may be a cogeneration plants are there. If you are going for sugar mills, they have the cogeneration plant. For our country, we are not gone for much in the renewable energy sources. We depend on only the non-renewable, that is coal and nuclear, those power plants, natural gas and crude oils, those energy only we are using majority. But still, it is in the developing stage, renewable source of energy. Even so many areas they are erecting the windmill now. So many areas they are gone for windmill. Even some places in Rajasthan, they are using the biogases for cooking. A small power plant is also installed in Orissa. They have biogas plant which is using the municipal waste. They are producing the biogas. So if you are going for this estimation, as of 2017, it is going to be around 10 lakhs megawatts. 10 lakh megawatts. This includes the solar power potential of 64 lakhs or 6,49,000 megawatts capacity, and wind potential is around 3 lakhs 2,251 megawatts, right? And SP, small hydropower plants are there. That is pilot plants are there. They are contributing around 21,134 megawatts. Biomass power plant is around 18,000. It is around 19,000 also. And cogeneration is around 7,000 megawatts. Even small sugar mills, all the sugar mills are producing their own electricity for their own uses, and also they are supplying for the national grid. As far as our South India is considered, that Bangalore is a hub. All the power what they are producing from Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, all will come to Bangalore. From there only, from the Bangalore, it is going for the other grids. National grids control is in the Bangalore. They only will dictate. In the morning they will dictate, this NLC has to produce this much, Kalpakam has to produce this much. So they are giving instruction to all the power plants, Karnataka, Krishnaraya Dam, there is a hydroelectric power plant is there. They are giving the instruction who has to produce how much. So according to that, everyone has to produce. So sometimes they ask to produce more, sometimes they ask to produce less. Still we are starving for power. Still India demands more electricity. That means we are developing. If we want of more electricity, it indicates that the graph that both are proportional, directly proportional. Current requirement, electricity requirement, and the growth of the country, both are proportional. If the electricity demand is increases, the country is developing. That is the main. And so we are producing more electricity. That is a renewable source of energy. So if you are going for the renewable sources of energy potential, if you are going for the Indian scenario, around out of this renewable sources energy of what we call it as around 64 lakhs 93,042 megawatts, right? Out of this, how much is getting from solar? All are maximum from the solar. all coming from the solar energy. 65% we are erected. Even Gujarat, complete stadium, complete towns are now with the solar operated power plants they are having. And wind is also contributed much. Wherever we are having the wind, they are producing wind. Even last I come to know that the wind blade is a distance of around 100 meters. We can't imagine 100 meters. That much big size windmill has come. Windmill has come to produce high electricity at lower speed, at the lower wind speed. Right? So other energies. Other energy may be the wastewater, the cogeneration, biomass. Those contributed only 3%. For 3%, and hydro contribute only 2. Hydro contribute 2 because it is dependent on the climatical condition. Depending on the climatical condition, so it will be less. It will be less. So next we will see what is the other estimated potential of renewable sources. Which state contribute having more? Which state will have more? If you are going for the state wise, the Rajasthan is the topmost because desert area. So more trees and other things are there. So they are getting more in Rajasthan area. It takes major share of Indian renewable energy sources. The Rajasthan takes a major source. Next to Karnataka. Karnataka is next. Okay, the first is coming for the Rajasthan. First is Rajasthan. Next the Gujarat. I already discussed that. So during the period of farmer chief ministers, he completely implemented to go for a solar. So Gujarat shares 13%, Rajasthan 16, Gujarat 13, and if you are coming for Karnataka 8% accounts for solar energy, maximum solar energy utilization. Out of that 63% of solar, the maximum contribution is coming from the Rajasthan and Gujarat and Karnataka. Tamil Nadu will have less, and Andhra is also having less amount of solar power energy, less solar power energy. And if you are coming for the estimate, the potential of electricity, renewable energy for all the states, around 20 states we are shown. 20 states we are shown. You can see there where it comes. It is the contributions coming from the Rajasthan. 16% is coming from the Rajasthan. After Rajasthan, we discuss about the Gujarat. Gujarat is 12. Gujarat is 12%. Jammu and Kashmir 11.17%. Next Karnataka. Next is Karnataka. Next Maharashtra. Madhya Pradesh. Right? And if you are going for Himachal Pradesh, 3.7. Tamil Nadu 5.4. Telangana contributes 2.4, and Uttar Pradesh, even if it's a big state, it having less renewable energy sources, and all the other states, and Andhra is also having 4.95, and other Assam, Mizoram, Tripura, all the other states, right? It contributes 16.4 or 16 or 17, 17% of electricity from renewable energy sources. This is what the graph shows. How much the coal is produced in India by using different sectors, private sector, public sectors and others. Private sector, public sector and others. Most of the coal in India is under the control of Coal India Limited, CAL. We call it as CAL, the major controller. They are taking more digging of coal in open mines. Only one closed mines is that in Assam, the small capacity, but all the other mines are in India are the open mines. They are contributed, if you are going for metric tons, in 2005 it is 250 metric tons. Now it is reaches to 440 metric ton. 440 metric ton by Coal India Limited. The others also joined public sectors. Right, limited corporations. The corporations comes under public sector where the shares are there, and privates also, they are also contributing nowadays. So they estimated by the year 2021. This is for 2015. I am taking the target. So by 2021, the targeted amount is going to be 800 metric tons of coal. India is planned to produce. That is estimates. Right, million metric ton. 300 around, see here there is a dotted line. So it indicates around 900 million metric tons. Right? So 2005 it was going to be in 250 or 260 million metric tons. By the year 2015 it was rose to around 620 million metric tons, By the year 2021, the estimated is going to be 960 million metric tons of coal. Million metric tons. That it is approximately going to be an 9,000 megawatts capacity. 9,000 megawatts capacity. That's what we are expecting in 2021, because so many industries have started. Because of some pandemic, there little slow process, but we need more amount of energy consumptions, right? So this is the natural gas productions by public sector as well as the private sector. How much it is produced in million cubic meter? Million cubic meter. In 2015, it is going to be in 224.9 billion metric tons. Now it is almost same. It is steadily maintained. It was steadily maintained. As I told you, in 2016 it was little bit reduced. 2016 it was little bit reduced, and again it's increased. Again it starts decrease because of it happened in the reduction in the offshore area. Reduction in the offshore area. But in onshore it is remains same. Almost it is remain same. That offshore area there may be some reduction in the manufacturing. Right? So there is a public sector units. Public sector units shares by the government and public partnership. Right? By the production of public sector unit, government partnership. This is taken for 1920, last year data. Last year survey by the Indian NTPC. They are giving the survey every year. NEP and NEC, they are giving the statistical survey for project for the next year. Project for the next year. Right? This is what the natural gas production. Then you will come for the solar energy. Come for the solar energy generation. How much billion units? How much billion units? See, in 2012 we are having only 1.45 billion units. Very less. 2012 it is 1.45. See the graph, it is steadily going like a normal distribution. Just the top plants, it is going like a normal distribution. We are utilizing more now. We are taking more energy from the solar. We are extracting more from the solar. The solar energy is cheaper. Energy is free of cost. But the extracting equipments, converting equipment, the solar energy conversion equipments is little bit costly, and efficiency is only 20% solar. We still research is going on how to improve the solar energy extraction, how to convert the solar radiation into useful electrical energy. Now it is comes around 50.1 billion units. Billion units in the year 2020. 21 statistics will be updated soon. Right? So up to this, we have seen about what are the different sources of energy available in India. So how much they are contributing each in electricity power generation and other utilizations. So we started with the energy scenario. How much is electricity is needed for India? Even 97 how much? 1947 is how much? At present 1991 is how much? 1921 is how much? We have discussed. And after that we seen what are the sources: coal, natural gas, crude oil, solar, wind energy, and hydro. All these things we discussed in the energy scenario in India. Okay. So next class we will see how this thermal energy is produced. That will be discussed in the forthcoming classes. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.